Take the wheel off, use a 21mm socket, and remove the wheel. Take this panel off here. There's some trim clips. Just use a trim tool. Take those clips out. Slide that off. Loosen up the nut on the tensioner pulley. Use a 14mm wrench. You don't have to take it off completely. Just loosen it, and then we got to loosen the tension on the pulley itself. And that you can do from up top. Before you do loosen this up, just keep in mind the tension on the serpentine belt so that when you put it back together, you know about how much tension was on it. You can just barely twist this like that. You could actually pluck it like a guitar. So when you put it back together, you want about that same tension. So from up top, I'm going to use a 14mm swivel socket, or if you don't have a swivel socket, you can use one with a universal joint. And just slide it on there. Here we can loosen this up. As we loosen this up, the belt is going to loosen up. And just slide the belt off. You can take it off the crank, off the alternator, and off the AC pulley. Take this nut off the tensioner, and slide the tensioner off with the washers. Don't drop the other washer. There's 3 bolts to remove, 2 on the bottom, and then 1 further up next to the alternator. Use a 12mm socket. And take those bolts out, and then grab the tensioner and just slide it up. Putting it on, I'm going to leave the pulley on here. If you are struggling to try to get to that top bolt, you could take the pulley off if you would like. Just line it up and get the bolt started. And tighten these up. If you have the ability to fit a torque wrench in here, you can torque these to 21 foot-pounds. Now take the belt, slide it over the alternator, over the AC compressor, around the crank pulley, and then below the tensioner. Just make sure those are all lined up. That looks good. And just take a 14mm wrench and just loosen this nut just a little bit. That should be good. Oh, this is coming down right there. Just keep it loose, and then we're going to adjust it from up top. Now from up top, you just want to tighten that bolt down. Not too tight, but you're going to have to go back and feel the way the belt feels. As I'm tightening it, I'm just going to try to twist it and just try to remember where it was when you took it off. You can almost, when I took it off, I almost could not twist it 90 degrees, so. Maybe a little bit tighter than it was. That looks good right there. Now you can tighten that nut up. Snug it up, and it should be good. Right there. And if you start the vehicle and you find that it is squealing, then you may have to tighten this belt a little bit more. You might have to make adjustments. And after about 10,000 miles, it may start squealing again. You may have to adjust it up a little more. Now take this panel, slide that in place, and put the push pins back in. And put the tire up. Put the lug nuts on. Now I'm going to torque the wheel to 80 foot-pounds in a star pattern or a cross pattern so that it tightens the wheel down evenly. Just go around again, double check.